We stand ready to negotiate with the United States. Indeed, we have offered 0 for 0 tariffs for industrial goods, as we have successfully done with many other trading partners, because Europe is always ready for a good deal, so we keep it on the table. But we are also prepared to respond through countermeasures and defend our interests.
The European Union's been very bad to us. They don't take our cars, like Japan in that sense. They don't take our agricultural product. They don't take anything practically. And yet they send millions of cars in a year, Mercedes-Benz, Volkswagen, BMWs. They're sending millions and millions of cars into the U.S., but we don't have a car that's been sold to the European Union or other places, but let's go for the European Union. And it's not going to be that way. It's got to be fair, reciprocal. It's got to be fair. It's not fair.
Want to really see something that said, take a look what happened.
Hey.
Why this beat so crazy?
We will make America proud again. When you try to kill our we will make America wealthy again. And yes, together, we will make America great again.
Since we've been winning all day, we've been at that slot machine just winning. We've been winning. We are at the slot machine. Jack hot. Prayers for Trump and the Trump administration, man. Prayers for America. I want to send my prayers to you guys. I love y'all, family. Well, we got to start this thing off with something funny, man. This happened early today. Yeah, and, you know, had the LA Dodgers at the White House. You know what I'm saying? And Trump just being himself, man. We love to see this. We love to see him smile. We're here for the jokes, man. We are here, even though it might not be a joke. To them California senators, what a disgrace. Check this out.
Congratulations, Brian. And others, we have a couple of senators here. I just don't particularly like them, so I won't introduce. Over the course of this amazing season, the members of this team...
California.
I didn't think it was that big a deal, actually. Washington. Over the course of this amazing season, the members of this team gave us some of the most...
Oh, man, love to see moments like this, man. We can all have a good laugh, man. Because we know about them California senators, boy. Oh, man. But it says Trump just refused to acknowledge California senators, saying, I don't particularly like them, so I don't want to introduce them. And the Los Angeles Dodgers standing behind him, absolutely losing it, laughing. Trump is freaking hilarious. But we have some more massive breaking news, man. And this happened earlier. I'm just not reporting on it because we remember reporting on everything that's been happening the past hour. We've been putting in so much work, y'all. It's so much going on. And all day today. It wasn't supposed to be the worst day today, Monday, with the market and man. So much gaslighting, fear-mongering, propaganda, fake news. Where's the fake news? But it's been win after win after win, man. Especially what just went down in the Oval Office, and now over 70 countries are reaching out. And I think it's even more now. But man, people are trying to get on the phone with President Trump right now to negotiate. But I want you to look at his body language when he was asked about tariffs right here. Look at the body language.
Sir, have you talked to any tech leaders over the weekend about the tariffs?
Yeah, I talked to the biggest in the world. I talked to the biggest of them all. Many of them, but I've talked to, I would say 4 or 5 that are considered the biggest. They don't, and you know what they said? We don't blame you.
We don't blame you. Yes, indeed, man. In real time, big things are happening, man. And I told you guys, trust the process. You know, through all the fake news, fear-mongering, lies, propaganda. You know, the hatred. The orange man is the bad guy. The Elon Musk. They're destroying the country. People really want the country to fail and burn so they can drag this man continually through the mud. so they can drag MAGA conservatives through the mud. You regret you didn't vote for that you didn't go out and vote for. You wish you would have voted for the Kamala, the lady with the coconuts. You wish you would have went out and voted for her, huh? I bet you there's MAGA and Trumpers right now regretting their vote. That's what they're saying, huh? Look at the market. Look at the market. Yeah, let's look at the market. What a day it's been, man. What a day it's been. We're getting exactly what we voted for. For too long, we've been ripped off, man. Spit on, left in the dark. Prayers for Trump and the Trump administration, you guys.
Donald Trump just got the EU to offer to drop tariffs on all American products. Like literally 3 days of threatening the EU with tariffs. And Europe is now ready to drop all tariffs on US products. Oh, and Vietnam's doing the same thing. They want to drop all tariffs on US products. Oh, and so does India. You know, no more tariffs on the products we want to sell to the billion fucking people that live in that country. Oh yeah, and Israel getting rid of tariffs on US products. And Japan. And South Korea. And Thailand. Oh, and 43 other nations. All offering Donald Trump 0% tariffs on US products. He did all that in 5 days. 195 sovereign nations in the world, and more than a quarter of them are now offering 0 tariffs on US products just so they can continue to trade with us. And all because Donald Trump was willing to threaten them with tariffs. Like, do y'all understand the benefit that's going to have on the United States of America? The benefit that's going to have on American companies that want to sell products worldwide? And he did all of this while half the country was bitching about it. He did this while y'all were protesting, while you were attacking American companies and firebombing car dealerships. Yep. Like, I actually saw so many of you on X saying we should invoke the 25th Amendment, saying that we should remove him from office. And while you were doing all of that complaining, he now has agreements with more than 50 fucking nations to not put a single tariff on our products, and is drawing up trade agreements that are beneficial to the United States. Liberals, I want you to understand that we are going to make this country great again. And if we got to drag you kicking and fucking screaming to do it, we'll do that.
Woo! So excited right now, y'all. I've been excited all day. We've been sitting at that slot machine just winning. Throwing punch after punch after punch in the ring, just winning. Low blow, uppercut, body shots. Yes, indeed, man. But we are rooting for America. We are rooting for we the people. I'm rooting for a better life for you and I, our families, our kids, the next generation. Yes, indeed, man. Because for far too long, the corrupt machine has been at it. And I told y'all, man, it takes a certain energy, spirit, a group of people that I'm telling you, that stand up against a machine, man, that stand up against the corruption, to call out the corruption, to expose it. And I believe we're living in these times, man. And this is why we say prayers for President Trump, the type of time he is on right now in this administration. You know, people that are against the system, man. No more getting ripped off. No more getting spit on. While others live like kings. Yeah. It's here. It is here. You know.
And now the Dow is in a little bit of a...
Let's play it. Let's play it.
Well, the commercial break happened, and now the Dow is in a little bit of a positive territory. So a little bit of volatility.
These people want the country to fail. So they want things to be so terrible and miserable. There are literally some people that wake up and say, "Man, I hope something bad happens. I hope something everything crashes and burns, so we can blame Trump, so we can get Trump out of here." People are literally are traitors, man. They're rooting against the country. They want everything to burn and crash. Same individuals that are wiping their hand in their butt and wiping it on somebody's car, property, taking their key and running it through the paint, through the metal. I mean, it's just setting stuff on fire. You know, idiot governors that haven't read. I guess they don't open up their own portfolio. They're governors wanting stocks to crash that back up their state. The hypocrites, and they got to come out and apologize. Oh. And a lot of them today are silent. People protesting outside, wasting time. You know.
As people price in some of the discussions this morning, as the White House says over 50 countries have contacted the White House looking to negotiate or at least discuss
and now it's over 70.
Tariffs, and then the president having that meeting with Netanyahu today at 2 o'clock, a press conference at 2:30 during Sandra's show.
Yeah, and the president put out a statement that he had just gotten off the phone with the Japanese prime minister, that they were having productive conversations, and now just hitting, which seems to be when the markets turned around here, was that the EU is talking with the United States amid this tariff battle. And the statement from the EU is, we are ready to discuss with the U.S., but solutions need to be mutual advantage. So what you're getting is the sense that they're coming to the table.
Communications.
The negotiations are happening.
Sure.
And that's when we saw the turnarounds, the Dow at 526 for now.
Okay.
Yeah, buddy. It feel good. Today's the day, I tell you, man. Today's the day. I want to check out and see what Matt had to say.
See, just earlier this morning, the European Union has now completely caved to President Trump's tariffs. Take a look.
We stand ready to negotiate with the United States. Indeed, we have offered 0 tariffs for industrial goods, as we have successfully done with many other trading partners, because Europe is always ready for a good deal, so we keep it on the table.
You hear that?
Where's the gas? I'm trying to figure out where's the gaslighter? Where's the fake news? Where's those activists? Where are they at? Why are people so silent right now? Yeah.
Folks, 0 tariffs on industrial goods, which, by the way, covers pretty much everything. Now, of course, this comes after yesterday's news that over 50 countries around the globe have literally started begging President Trump to make deals about his tariffs. As things stand right now, it's only been 5 days since President Trump's Liberation Day tariffs went into effect, but already countries across the globe are absolutely scrambling to get Trump's tariffs removed. And of course, this is also weird because for weeks now, we've been getting told by the progressive media that President Trump's tariffs are completely incompetent. They'll never work. Turns out they were wrong. In fact, as one recent report reads, 50 nations begging to negotiate President Trump's tariffs. Too late. Around 50 countries are now scrambling to cut deals before President Trump's brutal tariffs hit, and the answer's a hard no. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick made it crystal clear the 10% baseline tariffs on nearly 90 nations are happening. No delays, no exceptions. Calls are pouring in from desperate trade partners, but Trump's team isn't budging. The message? Pay up or get out. And so, folks, needless to say, pretty much every country around the world is absolutely freaking out right now as they try to figure out a way to deal with President Trump's tariffs. In fact, in just the last 24 hours alone, Taiwan, India, Israel, Vietnam, and Cambodia have all agreed to entirely drop all of their tariffs on the United States in an effort to get Trump to remove his tariffs on them. Folks, between all of those countries that I just listed, Trump has just saved American manufacturers over $120 billion a year in export costs. To say the least, Trump's tariffs are absolutely working. And as we just said a few moments ago, now we can add the European Union to that list as well. Ladies and gentlemen, at this point, the success of Trump's tariffs are just completely undeniable. In just 5 days, President Trump has used his tariffs to negotiate deals with almost 100 countries around the globe, pretty much rebuilding the global economy in the image of America first. But okay, you know what? What do you say we talk about Trump's tariffs that aren't meant to be negotiating tools? Let's talk about Trump's tariffs that are actually designed to stay in effect long term in order to protect American manufacturing. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about China.
And if we look at data from President Trump's first term, and there's a big study that just came out from a group of economists, mostly at MIT, that showed that a 20% tariff on China led to a 0.7% tax or price level increase over 4 years. I think that's pretty good. If we can take in 20% in tariffs.
I don't waste your time, Scott. Hey. It was that Kristen Welker. She don't want to. They don't understand. They won't ever understand. We got to go on. And what is it? NBC, CNN, MSNBC. We got to continue to go on these places, and they still won't understand. Yeah. And then when they'll come out and we see after you know, again, fear mongering, hatred, bias. Yeah, they won't ever. I don't know why we continue to waste time, but hey, you know, we got to do what we got to do, man. But he has been everywhere this past week. I mean, multiple times on CNN, on the fake news, setting the record straight. Yeah, get your points in. Get your points in. You know, it's all about the points, huh?
And it's a 0.7% increase. And Kristen, the little publicized story this week, everyone wants to look at the stock market going down. You know what else went down? Oil prices went down almost 15% in 2 days.
She don't care. She don't care. She actually probably don't even believe it. Yeah. Right now trending. Look at it. All over the place. They don't care. They don't want to report on it. They don't want to report on what's actually happening. But to gaslight Americans, fearmonger, propaganda, fake news. Yeah.
Which impacts working Americans much more than the stock market does. Interest rates hit their low for the year.
So, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. Just like Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent said, in 2018, President Trump placed a 20% tariff on China, and American consumers only ended up paying an extra 0.7% more. But you know what else happened? As a consequence of those very same 2018 tariffs on China, President Trump was able to bring around 135,000 manufacturing jobs back to the United States of America. So as it would turn out, all of these radical far-left progressive globalists that have been screaming about how tariffs are just a tax on the consumer have pretty much just been lying, and now we have the proof. And then, of course, on top of all of that, as Treasury Secretary Bessent said, right now energy prices are down, interest rates are down, and American job creation is absolutely through the roof. And why? Because manufacturers are finally investing in America again because of President Trump's tariffs. In fact, President Trump actually spoke about all of this just yesterday evening. Take a look.
But I do want to solve the deficit problem that we have with China, with the European Union and other nations. And they're going to have to do that. And if they want to talk about that, I'm open to talking. But otherwise, why would I want to talk? And as you know, because of the tariffs, we have $7 trillion already committed to be invested in the United States, building auto plants, building chip companies, and all sorts of companies are coming into our country at levels that we've never seen before. Biden had nothing coming in. This was a dead country with Biden. He didn't know what he was doing.
So folks, there you have it. As a consequence of President Trump's tariffs, over $7 trillion worth of manufacturing investments have now come pouring back into the country. And so, is that something that ever happened during the Biden presidency or the Obama presidency?
We got your real birth certificate. We got your real birth certificate. I'm telling you, them patriots, they know the real birth certificate, Barry.
I didn't think so. In fact, for the last several decades, manufacturing has done nothing but leave this country, completely screwing over middle-income blue-collar American workers. But not only that, when we completely rely on Chinese manufacturing to produce absolutely everything for us, we're putting ourselves at a very serious national security risk, as we all just recently saw in 2021 at the start of the global pandemic. So folks, here's the reality. Not only is reshoring manufacturing and bringing it back to the United States of America the economically intelligent thing to do, as we can all see already, but also it's the smart thing to do from a national security standpoint as well. But so like we've said, President Trump really has two different types of tariffs. Tariffs that are meant to be negotiating tools that we can use to leverage other countries into dropping their unfair tariffs on us. Then also there are tariffs that are meant to be permanent in order to incentivize bringing certain manufacturing sectors back to the United States. And so, ladies and gentlemen, I have to say, so far, President Trump has actually been able to strategically accomplish both of those goals. Now, of course, this entire situation isn't over yet, and the negotiations are still ongoing, but as things stand right now, President Trump is actually doing it.
Yes, indeed.
And to be more specific, what I mean is that President Trump is actually making America great again. He's actually putting America first.
Woo! Yes, indeed, man. And that's exactly what we voted for. Nothing else, man. Ah, it feels good, man. At the slot machines, huh? Them Patriots been at that slot machine. I know some of y'all that would be losing and losing and losing and losing and win, wham, and then lose and play it all back. But now we just been winning. I said, oh man, I done won all this. Okay, it's time for me to go home. I got more than I came with. Time to go home. But no, the wins are going to keep coming, man. But again, man, this man has been talking about this for decades, over 4 decades, man. And you look back at old videos like this, you know.
Possible. They don't have laws against it. They just make it impossible. They come over here, they sell their cars. I mean, you can respect somebody that's beating the hell out of you, but
decades, man. And now we are here in 2025.
The big price is tariffs. And he'd speak like that, but he was right. And then around in the early 1900s, they switched over stupidly to, frankly, an income tax. And you know why? Because
stupidly. But again, prayers for this man and this administration. I love y'all, and I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace and love, family.